leg, and then the other. Just stretching it out. Breathing here for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Hands to the outer knees, knees come in. If you are a fan of rocking back and forth on the spine, you can. If that doesn't feel good, just drop your knees to one side and let's come to a seated position. Legs can be extended out in front of you, or you can have them crossed. I'll start in a crossed position with my right leg in front of my left. Shoulders back and down, navel into spine. Right hand's going to crawl out onto the floor, left arm up. You can look up at the palm or down at the right hand. We're pushing into the left sits bone, left hip, and pulling the navel in and bringing the left shoulder back. You can crawl out as far on that arm, even coming down onto the forearm if that feels good. Breathing here for 3. And 2. And 1. Let's take the left hand behind, right hand to left knee. Push down to lift up, and then just take a gentle twist. Shoulders back and down. Sitting up, breathing as deeply as you can. Feel your lungs expand side to side, front to back. One more breath here. And then we'll inhale up, hands touch, palms to the sky, pull the navel in, and let's ground. So you had a beach ball between your hands. Breathing here for 3, 4, 2, and 1. Opening up. We'll change the cross of our legs if your legs cross. Sitting up tall, finding the sits bones. We're crawling the left arm out, right arm up and over. Dropping the shoulder blades back and down. We don't want them creeping up towards the ears, but back and down. Breathing here. And maybe you're making a little motion. That feels good to feel that side expansion. 4, 3. And 2. On 1, we're going to sweep our right hand behind the left hand to right leg. Inhale to lift, exhale to twist. Each inhale takes you taller, each exhale takes you farther into the twist. Breathing here for 3, 4, 2. And 1. Let's inhale the arms up. We're going to exhale, bring them down into cactus arms. Pull the lower belly in. Inhale up. Exhale, cactus arms into the shoulders. 2 more. Inhale up. Exhale. Last one. Inhale up. Exhale down. We'll bring our hands down to the mat, coming to all fours. If you need padding on your knees, take your blanket, your towel, double up your mat, use your cap. Yes, a little humor helps, guys. Knees under, hips, shoulders over, wrists. On an inhale, we drop the belly, but we keep the tone of the belly. On the exhale, start the movement from the tailbone, tucking and rounding through the back until you're looking at your knees or your belly button. And just take a few of these. With your own breath. So make the breath last all the way through the motion that you are conveying in the body. And then slowly coming to center. We're going to reach our right leg behind us. Keep the toes on the ground and just rock back and forth a little bit. Make sure you re-engage the belly. Let's inhale the leg and then rotate the hip down, push into the mat and lift. On an exhale, we're going to bring it out into awkward airplane. So I'm going to take my left arm out to balance. Push down into the shin and the top of the foot on the left side. For 4, 3, 2, on 1. We're going to come back to spinal balance. For 4, drop the shoulders down. 3, 2, 1. Our hand comes down, our knee comes down. Let's take a couple of rounds of cat-cow. Inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Inhale, lift. And exhale, and round. Coming back to neutral spine, we'll try all of that on the left side. Extending, left leg behind, toes come down. We're rocking a little bit back and forth just to open the foot, the calf. Getting a little warmth here. We extend the left leg behind us. Rotate the hips down. We're going to extend the left leg out towards the left. Right arm balances. Breathing here. For 4, 3, 2. On 1, let's bring it all back to center, spinal balance. Pulling that lower belly, tuck the chin a little bit. Long length from the tip of the left foot all the way to the crown of the head. For 3, 4, 2. On 1, hand down, knee down. Bring the toes to touch, knees out wide. Extended child's pose. Don't let your mind start running away with you. Just stay with your breath. We don't get a lot of prescribed breaks in life. You're getting one now. No need to keep doing. Another 2 breaths here. And slowly make your way back to your all fours position. We'll take a few sunbirds. We haven't done these in a while. I like to widen my grip just a little bit, just slightly beyond the shoulders. Pull the knees in because we're going to bring our chest through our arms. We're going to keep those arms closely locked into the shoulders and the rib cage. So extend the leg back. We're going to come forward, and on our exhale, we're going to start to bring our chin towards the mat. On an inhale, coming back up, so those elbows graze the ribs. Exhale down. Inhale back. Exhale down. And inhale back. We're going to step that right foot behind the right wrist. Maybe you need to help it up with your hand. And give yourself some width. We're coming into Anjaneyasana. Push down into the right foot, the left shin, sweep it up. Shoulders back and down. Hands can always come to heart center. This isn't about what your arms are doing. It's about the core being centered and being stable. Some inhales and exhales here. On our next exhale, we're going to take a twist. It can be a high twist by just twisting your body, or you could start to hook your left elbow outside the right knee, push the knee in the elbow, and now begin to use that action to rotate open. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale, coming down. Hands float to frame the foot, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and just barely allow the fingertips to graze the mat. Maybe you even bring them up a little bit for more of a power balance. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2. On 1, the hands are going to come down. Drop the back knee. Bring the right knee back. And let's take some hip circles. So maybe your hands a little wide. We'll move our hips towards the right. Coming forward. Dancing lion. You can make this expressive by moving all the way back. Coming all the way forward. Maybe even close to a cobra. Just a couple more rounds. And then we'll come to a neutral position. On your next inhale, we'll extend the left leg back, pull the lower belly in, and get ready. You're bending the elbows to take the sunbird, bringing the chest towards the mat. Inhale up. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. And inhale. Take a big inhale here and then exhale. We send the left foot behind the left wrist, become stable, pressing down into the right shin and the top of the right foot, and rising to our Anjaneyasana. Deep inhales, deep exhales. Remember, widen the stance if you feel like you're not stable in the pose. Breathing here for 3, for 2. On one, hands come to heart center, and you could take the high open twist or hooking right elbow outside left leg. Push the left leg into the elbow. Press down on the hands to lift up. And maybe you're looking over the back left shoulder. Breathing here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's bring the hands down, tuck the back toes, lift the back knee, and maybe you can lift the fingers off the mat, breathe into heart center. You don't have to. That's the beauty of this. For 3, for 2. On one, hands are going to come down. Let's step back to a brief plank pose. Making sure your wrists are under your shoulders. You're pulling the lower belly in and you're bringing the chest forward. And then we'll push our hips up to the sky, coming to our first downward facing dog. Pedal your feet side to side if you'd like, or stay static. The key here is find where you are in this very first downward facing dog. Your body hasn't done this today. We've just been at yoga for a few minutes, so give yourself the patience that you deserve. One of the worst things we can do is expect too much out of our bodies. It is what it is. And then settle into where you're at. And let's take 3 big breaths, each with an audible exhale. So inhaling deeply, exhaling. And again, inhale deeply. Open mouth, exhale. Last time. Inhale. Open mouth, exhale. We're going to slowly walk our feet up behind our hands. Get a little more than hip distance apart. Put a generous bend in the knees. Hinging from the hips, you're lifting the sits bones high and maybe cupping opposite elbows or allowing your arms to just ragdoll. If you'd like, you could rock side to side like a pendulum, or maybe just turning the hips slightly. Taking a few breaths here and exploring where are your hamstrings right now. If they seem to be screaming at you, you're too far. Bend, bend, bend your knees. If they're saying, hey, I'm really not feeling much, maybe you pull that belly in and reach a little farther. And then just breathe. It's all you have to do. Yoga, really the only thing you have to do is breathe. You could be sitting on your mat listening to me talk and breathing, and you're doing yoga. From here, root down into the feet. In fact, look at your feet. They should be pointed straight forward. Root into them as though they were bolted to the floor. Allow your arms to dangle. Tuck your chin to your chest and begin to roll up, pulling your lower belly in to support you as you come to a standing position. Bringing your shoulders up, back, and down. Let's do that again. Inhale, up, back, and down. And yes, Dad, this one's for you. We're going to bring our shoulders up to our ears and exhale forward. Inhale, up, and exhale forward. Finding your mountain position. Feet are about hip distance. Let's stretch your two fists. Navel to spine, tail tuck. So we're taking this to this. Right hand down by the side, left arm up, and then just allow yourself to cascade over. You could be looking up at your top hand, or just simply looking down to the edge of your right. And breathing. Allow your mind to be at peace with this breath. And then let's slowly come back up and off to the other side. So you're rooting down into the right foot as you're moving farther to the left. Breathing here. 4, 3, 4, 2. On 1, inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Letting your eyes be soft. And then we'll move into a little bit of balance, because one of the things that goes first and foremost when we're stressed is our ability to balance. So you're at home. You could maybe have a chair next to your mat. You might have a wall. Root down into your right foot. Come to the ball of the left foot. Navel to spine, tail tucks. Let's just bring that left knee into the chest and under the knee. And breathe for a moment. Are you rooting down into the right foot? Do you feel the entire right foot on the mat? Is it strong and straight? Maybe if you were holding on to something, you can bring the hand to hip. And then let's open that knee out. It isn't about being able to bring this knee completely back. It's about the opening that's comfortable for you. Breathing in. 4, 3, 4, 2. On 1, knee comes back. We're going to extend the leg out, and it's as though we're pushing on a gas pedal. So you can point and hip, hand to heart, or even arms up. Breathing here. For 4, 3, 2. On 1, bend the knees, set it down. Shake it up. Maybe you're taking some side-to-side motion. What's important is you're letting it go. You cannot change how that balance went. You did it to the best of your ability, and we're going to move to the other side. So we're going to root down into our left foot, and we're going to bring that right knee up, hand under the knee, and I'm immediately pulling the lower belly in and tucking the tail to get as much stability as I can. I'm checking in my foot. Am I really rooted down into that foot in the ground? Is my left leg strong and straight? 4, 3, 4, 2. On 1, I'm going to inhale deeply and then exhale and open, keeping my hips level and breathe. Or 3, 4, 2. On 1, exhale to center, take a big inhale, and then exhale, extend the foot. Stand as tall as you can. We're not leaning forward or back. We're trying to be straight and strong. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Setting it down and shaking it out before we start to flow. So coming to the top of your mat, rooting your feet into the mat. On an inhale, sweep your arms all the way up. On an exhale, pull your navel to spine, bend your knees, and hold. Inhale, half lift. Stand long and straight. Keep the bend in your knees so you're not damaging your hamstrings. And then exhale and hold. On an inhale, we're going to sweep our arms all the way up until they touch which is our full inhale up. Exhale, hands to heart center. We'll do one more just like that. Half sun salutation. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, and hold. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. And hands to heart center. I haven't used any Sanskrit on you guys in ages. Not that you need it, but once in a while, it kind of jars things loose for us. It kind of keeps us grounded. On our next flow, we're going to move to plank pose. So if you don't want to take the vinyasa, you don't have to. We're going to get to a plank in some form. So inhale all the way up and exhale all the way down. Inhale, half lift, and then exhale, we're going to step to plank pose, and you could stay here, or if you'd like, you could take the vinyasa, coming down, moving through a cobra or up dog to down dog, but you're going to have to meet us right back into our plank pose. Take a big inhale here, open mouth, exhale. For 3, or 2. On 1, let's push our hips high. Settling here. Lifting your right leg up. Bend the knee and start to make some hip circles. The key here is to make them large and allow your hip to go through the full rotation. And then reverse the hip circle. Extending your right leg behind you. Take a big inhale. Step your right foot behind your right wrist. Pivot your back left foot. And we're going to rise to warrior 1. So we're sinking into the right knee. Make sure you're stable, then rising. Remembering that we can always bring our hands to heart center. Lift the back knee. Keep that strong and straight. The brains of the pose is in this back left leg. Breathing here. Right arm's going to come forward, left arm's going to come back. We'll come to warrior 2. Back leg might want to shift back a little bit. Opening up. Now, tail tucks. Belly in. We're looking up over the right front arm. Straighten forward. Maybe you open the palms and then drop them to drop the shoulders. And don't lose the bend in that front knee. Check in with your toes. If you were looking in a mirror, you would not see the back arm behind you. Breathing here. Keep the bend in the front knee, taking a reverse warrior, flipping the palm. We always want to straighten that front leg, but keep it bent. We'll get a brief rest from that in a moment. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2. Everything stays the same, just unbend that front right knee. Reach back into a reverse triangle. For 4, 3, 2. Keep your legs. On 1, we're going to start to come forward and reach into triangle. So it's a reach. Hand comes down somewhere, not on your knee. Back hand could be behind your back, or it can be up. And your head can always be facing towards the front foot. You don't have to be looking up at the hand. Now, open waist and hip, shoulder, so that you really feel as though you are a two-dimensional object. And breathe. For 4. Pushing into the feet. 3, 2. On 1, start to bend the front knee, coming back to your warrior 2. Back arm. It's going to come inside the front foot, pivot onto the back toes, open up into a reverse twist. Now push down into the mat, lift your belly and lift that shoulder up and back. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2. On 1, right hand comes down. Let's step it back to our plank pose. You have a choice. You could stay in plank, you could head to down dog, or you could move through a vinyasa, knees up or knees down. Remember, the key is to pull the lower belly in. Keep the elbows hugged into the body. And then lift with the chest into the cobra. Exhale, down dog. If you aren't in down dog, let's meet there now. Lifting your left leg up. Bend at the hip. Start to rotate that leg around. You can always make some ankle circles here too. Taking 3 or 4. And then reversing. Breathing here. For 3, 4, 2. And 1. Extend that left leg behind you. Take a big inhale. Step left foot behind left wrist. Pivot the right foot 45 degrees. You're about heel to heel alignment. Get solid, then begin to rise into warrior 1. Let's talk about where you are. Left hip back, right hip forward. Tail tucks, sink deeply, and then make sure you track that knee towards the pinky toe edge. And breathe. Four, 3. Where are my shoulders? Oh, they're creeping up there. 4, 2. On 1, left arm forward, right arm back. I take a step back so I'm more heel to arch. I'm opening up through the groin, sinking deeply, checking in that that knee is tracking behind me. Tail tucks, arms out wide. Strong pose. Virabhadrasana 2. 4, 3. 4, 2. On 1, palm up, arm back. Maybe you're looking at the back heel. If you are, make sure that you've really got a lot of strength in that back leg. Four, 3. 4, 2. On 1, just start to unbend that front left leg. Reach back a little farther. Now, where is that shoulder? Bring it back a little. Keeping the legs where they are, let's start to reach out into our triangle. So back hip towards the back wall, hand comes down, opening. Right hip, right waist, right shoulder. Arm can be up or it can be behind your back, giving you a little more support. Breathing here. 4, 3. 4, 2. And 1, start to bend that front knee, coming back to your warrior 2 for your setup to come down to the mat. Back arm, right hand comes down inside of the left foot, pivot onto the right toes, sweeping up into your open twist. Breathing here. 4, 3. And 2. And 1, hand comes down. We're going to come to plank pose, and then we're going to come all the way down to our bellies. Let's make our way to the mat. Bringing your elbows right under your shoulders. Hands are going to fan out, just like pancakes. Push the arms into the mat to help lift the front chest. And now check in with the tops of your feet. Are they really pushed down into the mat? If they are, your knees are lifting slightly. Allow your buttocks to be very soft. The bend is coming from your opposing force of your hands into the mat, releasing that lower back. Breathing here. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Coming all the way to the mat. Make a pillow with your arms and just set your forehead down. We're going to use this to set up for our next back bend. But for now, take the breaths. It's really important that you take the time to check in. Breathing here for 3. 4, 2. All right, we're going to glue our forehead right to the tops of the arms. If you are able, and for a lot of you this isn't going to work, if you're able, bring your heels together. If not, that's fine. Just press the top of the feet into the mat. On the inhale, with our forehead glued to our forearms, we're going to lift the upper part of the body. On our exhale, we'll lift the lower part. So taking an inhale, I'm going to lift up. My head is glued to my arms. On an exhale, I'm lifting my legs. Upper back stretch, upper back strengthening for 4, 3, 2. Stay where you are. Allow your arms to come out. Superman. Breathing here for 4. Lifting up a little higher. 3, 2. On 1, allow the hands to come under the shoulders. Allow the legs to float down. Let's rise up into a nice cobra. Make sure you check in with your lower back and with your buttocks. Keep it soft so that you get the bend. Slight tuck of the chin. For 3, 4, 2. On 1, move slowly to the mat, keeping the elbows in. Tuck our toes, pushing back maybe through an all fours to downward facing dog. And let's take a couple of breaths here. We're going to be coming to crescent pose. If crescent pose is difficult for you, you can come back to Anjaneyasana, coming into the lunge that we did earlier in class. So on an inhale, we're going to lift the right leg up. On an exhale, the right foot steps behind the right wrist. We stay on the ball of the back foot, or we drop the back left knee. So if you drop your back left knee, you'll rise to Anjaneyasana. If you stay onto the ball of the foot, you're going to rise into crescent pose. We're going to do some dynamic motion here. So water wheel. On an exhale, left arm forward, right arm back. On an inhale, we come right back to crescent. On an exhale, water wheel. Inhale back. 1 more, just like that. Exhale, water wheel. And then inhale back. The only thing that needs to change at this moment is pivot your back foot down so you're flat on the back foot in warrior 1 legs. Taking your front forearm, right leg, left arm, up and over. Side angle pose. Parsvakonasana. Pull your navel into spine. Maybe you're looking up at the palm of the left hand, or maybe you're looking down at the right foot. But remember, this arm, this right arm, has energy. Back leg strong. Breathing here for 3. Breathing here for 2. On 1, we're going to bring that left hand down, right hand down. Bit of a transition here. If you don't want to take the transition, you can come to a child's pose. So you're in a runner's lunge. We're going to pick up the right foot, bend the knee, and take rock star. So right foot comes behind left leg, reaching down, lifting up, or not. Or not is a great option. Breathing here for 4, 3, 2. On 1, coming back to plank pose, And if you were in child's pose, we're all going to meet you there. Knees down. Let's come back. This is our last standing sequence, so enjoy it. But we need a break just before we take the second side. Breathing here. Big inhales, big exhales. 4, 3, 4, 2. On 1, let's make our way right back to our downward facing dog. So we can set up for our crescent. We'll lift that left leg up. Looking behind our left wrist, we'll step the left foot gently. Stay on the ball of the right foot or bring the right knee down. This works both ways. Inhale, we rise either to crescent or we rise to our Anjaneyasana. Take a big inhale. We're going to move the right arm forward, left arm back. Then we'll take an inhale back and exhale, water wheel. The key is to stay rooted from the hips down. Inhale back. One more. Exhale. We're going to come back to our crescent, pivot on our back right foot, and bring our left forearm to our front thigh, or if you know something more exotic, start to open up that hip, sweeping our right arm up and over. Remember, left arm has energy, pushing into the right leg because that's the brains of your pose. Breathing here. 4, 3, 4, 2. On 1, we're going to look down, sweep our right hand down, sweep our left hand down, runner's lunge. This is where you can come to a child's pose if you're not following us into rock star. So pick up that left leg, bend the knee, bring the foot behind, and open up. For 4, 3, 2. On 1, the hand comes down, foot comes down. Let's all meet in a well-deserved child's pose, which will take us into our floor sequence momentarily. If you'd like, start to crawl your fingers out towards the right side, just getting a little stretch through the left side body. Take a few inhales and exhales here. And then we can start to crawl our fingers out to the left side, getting the right side body. And slowly coming back to center. Making your way to a seated pose with your legs extended, staff pose, Dandasana. Root down, find the sits bones, drop the shoulders back and down. And I just like to bring the hands right by the hips. It helps me engage the lower belly, tuck the chin, and just take some really nice inhales and exhales. And slowly we'll lift our arms up. This is about reach. So we're going to reach with our long back, straight and long, and then the hands come down. Now, word of caution, if your hamstrings are tight, bend the knees. Maybe you have blocks or a blanket under it, or maybe you're using your strap, which could be anything. It could be a towel, it could be a belt, it could be a tie. You can use all sorts of things for our props. And just leaning forward. You're looking at your big toes. That's your drishti, your focal point. Breathing here. For 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's slowly Tuck our chin to our chest and just roll up. Shoulders back and down. Let's get into our inner groin. We can get some shoulder work here. So we're going to bend our right knee, take those peace fingers bars, hook them right inside the big toe. Sit up nice and tall, and then place that left hand by your hip. Inhale, exhale. And then inhale, see if you can bring the knee back farther towards the shoulder. Exhale. Taking a few of these, inhale, and exhale. Inhale, exhale. 2 more. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And now we'll just cradle this leg in. So I'm flexing my toes. I'm going to bring my left hand to the instep, my right hand to the knee, and just start to, oh my gosh, Sandra, you can crack me up. Hey, life is fun, guys, so enjoy. We're just rocking our leg. If you know more, and you can take a cradled version or maybe even the forklift version, that's fine. This is all about what's good on your body. The important part is sit tall, 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 shoulders back and down. And breathe. Deep inhales, deep exhales. And then slowly take that foot, place it inside the thigh. We'll come to Janu Sirsasana. My shoulders are going to focus over my left leg. Pull my belly in, arms reach up, and exhale out, using again strap if that works for you. If you're very flexible, maybe this right hand comes to the outside of the left foot. And then you can take that left hand and just give yourself a little more twist. And you'll feel that in the lower part of the back. For me, it's kind of a realignment, especially after sitting at a desk. So deep inhales, deep exhales. For 3. It's not about getting your nose on your shins. I guarantee you. 4, 2. And 1. Whatever you're holding, take an inhale, lift. On an exhale, sweep your right hand behind your back, your left hand to your right leg. Inhale, lift, exhale, twist, and breathe. Big inhales, big exhales, guys. Really fully allow your body to twist. You've been doing a lot of movement. We've been doing a lot of dynamic movement. You should have a good twist by now. Deep inhales, deep exhales. 1 more breath here. And then just come forward. Let's extend the leg. Take an inhale and an exhale. And shake it out. Point and flex. Wiggle your toes. All right. Let's set up for the other side. We'll bend that left knee. Peace fingers. Fingers in. Exhale up. Inhale. Exhale. Ooh, snap, crackle, pop. Rice Krispie times, guys. For 4. 3. 2. And 1. All right, let's bring that foot in. Remember, you have several options. Maybe you are just holding that foot, flex at the ankle, and sit up tall. Posture counts. Believe me, all that stuff your mother ever told you, you're going to love yourself at 70, 80, and 90 if you sit up tall. Breathing here. For 3. 4, 2. On 1, let's slow it down. If you were rocking, we'll set the foot inside the thigh. Make sure you're making a connection. Foot, thigh together. Inhale, lift. Exhale, shoulders come over. Sweeping the arms up. And exhale and coming forward. Remembering that you have that option. Take the left hand outside the right leg. Inhale, lift. Take a little more of a twist in this pose. Keep the knee bent if you're feeling too much strain in the hamstring, or use a strap. Or you could even slide a rolled up towel underneath. Breathing here. 4, 3, 4, 2. And 1, inhale, exhale, release. And then we'll sweep our arms up and bring the right hand outside the left leg, left arm behind, pushing up to inhale, exhale, and twist. Now, anyone that has some props, you can use them for the next portion. And believe me, you can get creative. We're going to take a gentle back bend, set ourselves up for an inversion, and then Shavasana. Breathing here for 3, 4, 2. On 1, arms up, exhale, inhale, and exhale. So let's talk about your back bend. If you have pillows, wonderful thing, you can throw them back and you can just elevate a little bit, allowing your chest to open. If you have blocks, you could use one behind your shoulder blades where your bra line would be. Infinite possibilities with what you've got at home. You could roll up a towel and lay it lengthwise on your back and then lay out. So we're going to take a back bend here for about 30 seconds. If you want something more vigorous, by all means, please take that back bend. So setting up, bringing your feet close to your buttocks and lying back maybe over your props and checking out if you can extend your legs or not. Lower back issues, bending the knees, placing something under the knees helps. And now we breathe. So we're going to breathe to a count of 4. Taking an inhale here for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Holding at the top for a moment. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's do that again. Inhaling for 1, 2, 3, and 4. Holding there for a moment. Exhaling for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Continue on for a few more breaths like this. And as you're breathing, I'll just kind of give you some instruction. When we move towards our inversion, you are welcome to use that for Shavasana. If you have a couch close by, you could lay on the ground when we come to our inversion, placing your buttocks close to the edge of the couch and then just flopping your feet over the area you'd normally sit on, which is a beautiful inversion. You can go to a wall. You could use a book under your sacrum, or you could take any variety of other inversions. So as we begin to take our last round of breath here in our back bend, really make it count. And then begin to set yourself up into your inversion. I'm looking at my clock, and I'm going to give you about a minute there. At that point, I'll tell you that it's time to move towards Shavasana if you want it. If not, you'll stay in your inversion for the next few moments. As you move carefully into your inversion, just make sure you always protect your neck. And that if something doesn't feel right, make the adjustment immediately. Not that it's going to feel better. You need to move from a place of comfort and ease and then challenge yourself. Let's settle into our inversion. If you would like to start to move to a traditional Shavasana, this would be the time. When we set up in Shavasana, we want to be as peaceful as possible. So if you feel peaceful in your inversion, then fine. Once you find that position in Shavasana, take a very big inhale. Hold it at the top. And then through an open mouth, exhale. Allow your body to become very heavy in your pose. Remembering that your thoughts are a product of your mind and your brain. Two different entities. They will continue to happen. Your interaction with those thoughts is not required. You can tell them later. And though they might bug you, you can keep telling them later, and if they are important, they will come back. If they are not, that's okay. So settling into your Shavasana, allowing yourself to breathe deeply. Exhale, deep inhale here. Exhale. Another big inhale. Maybe incorporating a little bit of motion with your fingers and your toes. Just waking up gently. Bringing yourself back to your mat.